La la, I love to shower.
Gigi, it's time for the show.
The show's not till April 28th.
That's right now.
I've been showering since March 12th. Ah! Hi. Oh my gosh. I'm so sorry about that. I changed very quickly. What you just saw was live footage of me in the shower. Yeah, that was very live. Except for the feet clip, I don't know whose feet that was. I have very dainty lady-like feet, and I think that belonged to a centaur. So we should probably check up on that. Anyway, hi. Thanks so much for coming. I'm Gigi. This is the Good Light Show, the show where everyone is backlit because I didn't think to buy an LED lamp before the pandemic. I did buy a lot of canned sardines though. So I'm sure you're probably jealous, especially if you are a grandmother from the old country. Anyway, I've asked some of my favorite writers and performers to join tonight. So we're just going to have a very good, light, relaxing evening, like in the olden days. But before we begin, I'm just going to introduce my husband, Patrick, and he has a word from our sponsors.
Tonight's show is also brought to you by Black Hole Paper Towels. It's the paper towel that's too absorbent. Uh-oh. It's the paper towel that's too absorbent. Avoid sustained use on surfaces or the structural integrity of your home may be compromised. Keep away from children under 5 feet tall. Do not look directly at the paper towel. Oh no, I just did.
Thank you. Oh my gosh, thank you. That was our very official sponsor. So there is a 20-second delay on the live stream. So if you're trying to chat and comment about like how amazing we are and how we all deserve like movie deals, just keep putting it in the chat and we will see that eventually. Okay. All right. Anything else that I need to check up on? Okay. Sorry. I'm just gonna. Okay. So I guess are people ready to meet your performers? Let's bring them all out. We've got Amanda, Art, Viviana, Johnathan, James, and Rekha. Yay! Thanks so much for joining. We have peeps representing Brooklyn, Harlem, Phoenix, LA. I'm so excited. All right, so I'm going to introduce our first performer. She is a very talented stand-up and sketch comedy writer, and she's going to do some storytelling for us tonight. I'm so excited to have her. Please welcome Amanda Hunt.
Oh my God. Thank you so much, Gigi. Hello, fellow comedians, YouTube fans, etc. Thank you all for having me. Gigi, those feet were gorgeous. I don't know whose they were, but I was very impressed as somebody who has true Hobbit feet. So I'm gonna just like talk a little bit, tell you a little story about a pre-quar time. Comedy's really hard, you know, like we're all really hustling and we're really trying. And so it's really important to celebrate your wins. It's really important. And so this is a story of when I booked. I freaking booked, okay? And it was to sing at my grandmother's funeral, but you have to celebrate the wins regardless, right? So I was in between two shows, which is what I call Saturday afternoon open mics, and I got a call from my brother, and he said, Amanda, Mima has died, and Mima is our grandmother. And Mima was 98. She was a wonderful woman, truly like the most positive person I've ever met. This is a picture of her. This is me, her, and my brother, and then like my cousin's kid, but she's not in this story. She's not important to the story. I know my brother's handsome, but that's also not important to the story, but people do say that every time they see a picture of him, and I wonder if they say that about me to him when he shows them a picture of me. So he said, Mima has died. She wanted you to sing at her funeral. And the funeral is at 10:30 a.m. next Saturday. And I said, wow, I guess she didn't want me to sing well. And so that's tough to start that early. But she wanted me to sing His Eyes on the Sparrow, which I obviously know. I've seen Sister Act 2, okay? So I am like, okay, this is my beloved grandmother, one of the kindest, most wonderful people I know, who I love so much, but also I'm a WASP and I have a BFA. So any feelings that I have, I can squash them down, you know? Like all I have to do is not cry from this Saturday till next Saturday and I'll be fine, right? That's easy. You just put it all in a box and it's fine. So I go through my work week. I tell my boss I need to go home. My grandmother has died. I don't shed one fucking tear. I'm brave. I get home on Saturday. I go straight to First Baptist Church. I meet Doug, the piano player. We go through His Eyes on the Sparrow, and it turns out that that song is very different when an old white lady dies. So Doug said to me, you know, do you want to take tonight and come back tomorrow and practice before the funeral? And the time when I would come to practice, I said yes. I said yes, 9:30 a.m. I would love to come sing this high song at 9:30 a.m. at the church while everyone else is interring my grandmother's ashes at the cemetery. I would think that would be a great thing to do. Of course I did, because I'm a professional. So I come back the next day. Doug is right. The song is much better. And honestly, who am I to bring shame on my family by eating shit at the First Baptist Church on Friendly Avenue? So I'm singing at the end. I'm headlining. Okay, again, celebrate. And everyone is really trying to make me cry. Okay, people are saying sad eulogies about my grandmother. Something that I think was especially targeted and harmful. Someone brought up how she's a diehard Clemson University fan. She loves their football. It's her favorite thing. And a kicker in one of the big like championship games, is that what they're called? In one of the big championship football games, a kicker for the other team missed and it made Clemson win. And he was so sad and everybody was celebrating. And my grandmother refused to celebrate because she said, he looked so sad and that is somebody's little boy. So that's like the kind of wonderful, you know, she's just like good, like a good egg. And so, you know, that's the kind of shit that people are fucking saying in this funeral, trying to make me cry, which I'm not gonna cry. And so then the pastor gets up and he talks about my grandmother and how she was smart and intelligent and like really like a warm person. And then he talks about my nephew who's about to be born. And I was like, you son of a bitch, don't even fucking try it. This little box is so tight. He could never, you know, he could never. So then finally it's my turn to go up. I go up, I give Doug a little nod. We've got a thing going at this point, a chemistry, a back and forth. He starts the music and I'm singing. And honestly, I'm crushing. I'm truly killing it. And so I get through the first verse and I think to myself, am I doing too well? This is my grandmother. Do I look like a sociopath up here? So I was like, okay, let's just like tear a little corner off the box. Let's just like open up our feelings a little bit so that people feel like I'm human and approachable. So I look down at this picture of my grandmother that they've put on the altar. And it just really goes to show you that like they shouldn't be pushing homosexuals out of the Baptist church because nobody knows how to fucking set up a picture in a wreath. She's in this floral wreath, but it's like up to her nose. So it looks like she's peeking out of the wreath. And I thought like, one, put that on a little box. And two, she would think that's so funny to see herself like this. And I lost it. I start bawling. I'm like sobbing and trying not to like shake on the altar. And Doug kicks into that second verse. And let me tell you something, folks, it was better than the first. Because now I'm crying, but I have technique, you know? So I am, and I look out into the audience, the congregation, and they are crying. Like, it's like the church is full of like old men who are like, and I'm thinking to myself, wow, I miss my grandmother, but also like, is this the height of my professional career? Like as an artist, you have to celebrate. So I finished the song. I like managed to get off the like stage or altar, whatever it's called. And I go back, I sit down. My sister-in-law kind of gives me a little squeeze. My nephew in her belly gives me a little kick. Everybody's being cute. So we get up. My mom runs over to me at the end of the funeral and she says, Amanda, are you all right? I know you hate it when you break character. And that does kind of inform, you know, like who I am as a person and what is broken about me specifically. And so like, it's really crazy because people say like really fucked up things to you at a funeral. Like they'll say nice things like, oh, I'm sorry for your loss. And they'll also say really shitty things like, oh, are you on Broadway? Like, no, I'm already grieving. Thank you for bringing that up. I'm obviously not. Thanks. But the most interesting thing that someone said to me at the end of the funeral was after it was all over, my mother came up to me and she said, Amanda, that was truly beautiful and special. You know, and I said, well, Mima wanted me to sing it and I would do anything for her. I'm honored to have been thought of and asked. And my mom said, honey, I told her you wanted to sing His Eyes on the Sparrow at her funeral. I knew you would be wonderful. And that is really like an insight into what it's like to be a Kardashian. You know, like really think that's a Kris Jenner move. And I respect it in my mother and I respect it in Kris Jenner. And thank you all. Thank you for having me, Gigi.
Yeah. Oh my God, I am laughing and crying. Amanda does have an amazing voice. You should check out her Instagram. And I love your characterization of your mother. I want to meet her and I'm kind of terrified of her, maybe. Also, 10:30 funeral, way too early. I promise when I pass, I'll make it after brunch time, maybe. Yeah. But thank you, Amanda. Yeah. Johnathan says, I went through so many emotions in all caps. Yes, we all did. Thank you. Up next, we have a very talented stand-up. I actually met him at an open mic and thought he was so funny and also so kind, which I feel like is very welcomed in this industry. So excited to have him. Please welcome Art Kai.
Hey everybody. My first Zoom show. So this is fun. Thank you so much, Gigi, for the kindest words. I'm about to cry from that. I don't know if I can handle all this emotion from Amanda and from Gigi. This is crazy. So yeah, I guess I'll try some stand-up. I have some material that is, I guess, topical in this way. So yeah, I guess we'll get right into it. So I'm actually an essential worker, which is interesting because I don't have an essential like job. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not a healthcare worker. I'm not like a nurse. I'm not like a food service guy. Like I am just contracted by the government as like a defense like contractor. That's it. Like, and it's also a niche part of the defense department. So it's so strange to be like working right now because I'm like going through like my regular day, but there's so much stuff of people like praising like essential workers. It's crazy. Like, and I fucking love it. You know what I'm saying? Like 7 o'clock, I bask in that shit, dude. I'm like, yeah, give it to me, dude. The Blue Angels came by today. I was like, dude, that is for me, dude. Like that is my shit. It's so it's weird though. Like it's funny because I feel like all my friends, and this is like sad because they're all like getting like laid off and furloughed. But I'm like, yo, society just gave me a promotion. You know, like I'm doing great. Like I'm sorry about your loss, but I could keep going. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just. It's so weird, like walking around and then like seeing people like EMTs and being like, yeah, we're on the same level, you know, like this is you and I, we're not too different from each other. Yeah, I don't know. I have not had a conversation with an EMT person about that yet, but I do plan on doing that soon because they do hang out outside my apartment quite frequently, and that's something I should probably look into. I wonder if people in my building are getting sick. Anyway. Oh shit. Sorry. Oh my God, this is so rude. It's my mom. So this is kind of, she worries a lot. So I'm gonna take this real quick. I'm gonna go on mute. It's gonna take like a minute. Sorry guys, give me 1 second. All right. Hello? Hey mom. Yeah, no, I'm good. I'm doing a Zoom show right now, like a comedy show. So I don't know if I can talk for that long. So what's up? No, I'm not wearing a mask. Uh, no, I don't want to put on a mask, mom. Mom, mom, no, don't you understand? Mom, it's not a, I don't want to, Art doesn't want to put on a mask, okay? Art doesn't want to put on a mask, all right? No, it's a virtual show, Mom. It's a virtual show, okay? I don't want to put on a mask. No, don't you understand, Mom? Art doesn't wanna, okay? Art don't like it. I don't like it, okay? Daddy said I didn't have to put on a mask, all right? You're making me real angry, Mom. I don't know, no one else is putting on a mask. But Gigi said I didn't have to wear a mask, okay? No. I don't want to go to timeout. No, I don't. Okay, fine. I don't want to go to timeout, so all right, put on a mask. Right? Okay, I'm gonna go do the show now, all right? Love you too. Bye. Oh shit, was that not on mute? Oh my God. Whoa boy. Yeah, so being an essential worker is it's pretty cool, I guess. It's a good time. I love it. I'm gonna give my mom a call back. I gotta go. All right, this is great. Thanks so much. Bye.
Woo! Thank you, Art. That was a PSA to put yourself on mute. All right. Well, I am so excited to introduce our musical guest. She is the principal flute at the Phoenix Symphony. And more importantly, she's my friend from high school. She's here to play a movement from Bach's solo sonata. Please welcome Viviana Cumplido Wilson.
Hi, thank you so much for having me. This is a blast. And yes, I would love to share with you guys. This is a movement of CPE Bach's solo sonata. This is the third movement.
Woo! Oh my gosh. And she's drinking White Claw, people. That is a professional. She's classy. We classy and trashy. Thank you so much, Viviana. And she's connecting to us from Phoenix. I feel like you just like raised the show up to NPR level. We're gonna have to come out with a tote bag next week. And we'll see Viviana again at the end of the show. Thank you so much, Vivi. All right. Also, I forgot to mention, the show is free, but if you are able, we are so grateful for donations. You'll see the PayPal link in the show description, or if you prefer Venmo, my Venmo username is there. Yes, I know that is my username, but I assure you the funds will be split amongst the performers. If not, you know where to find me at my Parasite house. All right. Well, first we have another word from our sponsors.
Tonight's show is also brought to you by Step Stools. If you want to be just a little taller, but don't want to make a big fuss about it. No invasive surgery required. Totally reversible if you need to walk through a doorway. Just carry a bulky miniature stepladder with you wherever you go. Step Stools.
Thank you, Patrick. I personally requested that sponsor. I use step stools all over the apartment. Okay, up next we have a very special guest. He's joining us all the way from England. Please welcome the Town Crier.
Yay, yay, yay! The Duke has asked that we not throw our feces out the window. So just leave them in a pile in front of your homes. Well, I suck. I just bombed. I just fucking bombed again. Town crier to town crier. Did I just bomb? It's just, I ran into Bertram the other day and I found out he's town crying for London now. London. And we're still here stuck in Skunkthorpe. He started town crying at the same time as us. I'm just going to say it. It's because Bertram's dad is a baron. Okay? Just like most of our food and drinking water, whenever I think about Bertram town crying, I throw up in my mouth. Okay, come on, Percival. Get back up there. Yay! The feral dogs are back and angrier than before. So if you see one in your home, leave. That also, if you have the Black Death and have lost an arm or leg, just leave it in the street. That's what's attracting the feral dogs. Finally, the funeral of old man George was held last night. He died in his sleep at the age of 22. Oh my God, I'm 15. I've wasted basically my whole life. I know I'm stuck on this, but Bertram has so many followers. Literally, people in London just follow him around. Yeah, I know you have to be shitty at town crying for 10 years, but should I just move to LA? Lake Ass, the lake that gives everybody tuberculosis. I don't think I could buy my own carriage, though. I should just quit and become a cobbler like my dad wanted. No, I'm 15. I have a wife and 7 kids. Yay! We've run out of room in the witch drowning well. It's more drowned witch than well at this point. So if you know of another well, please let the chief witch finder know. Unrelated, but we are also looking for a new source of drinking water. I thought town crying was me calling. When I was younger, everyone used to say, Percival, you're so loud. And I knew. I still remember my first town cry, you know. Yeah. Those babies are getting eaten by a pack of feral dogs. I peeked. At least I'm not crying about how much I hate me wife like a hack. We've all heard it. I'm doing observational town crying. Yay! Another news item. London has become obsessed with a new game called chess. But in my opinion, it doesn't hold a candle to Scunthorpe's favorite sport, throwing hammers at each other. Okay, I'm gonna work with the crowd. Yay! Is anyone here from out of town? No. You're all from this town. They're all from this town. This doesn't work. At least I'm trying to do something different with the form. I'm experimenting. I thought having a really tiny bell would make me stand out, but it's so derivative of the alternative town crier scene. I'm just sick of going to open town cries and it's all white men town crying about courtship, intimate relations, and dying of cholera. Maybe I just need to focus on my own writing. My epic ballad about a struggling town crier making it in the big city. I can't read or write. All this scroll has is a doodle of feral dogs eating a baby. And I'm done. Thank you.
Oh my God, I'm dying. I feel like I have the plague. That was awesome. Thank you, Town Crying. When he's not town crying, Johnathan is writing for places like the New Yorker and McSweeney's and hopefully not catching the bubonic plague. One more time for Johnathan. Yay. Well, our next guest has to follow that. He has written for the New Yorker, McSweeney's, and he's the editor of the very funny humor site Points in Case. We're so excited to have him. Please welcome James Folta.
Hey, what's happening, everybody? Hi, I have a piece I'm going to read of short humor that is coming out soon in a publication called The Pandemic Post. It is a publication, all the proceeds, it's like a really nice newspaper for one, it's beautiful, full color, and all the proceeds go to 2 mutual aid funds that are helping support out-of-work service workers. So it's for a good cause, it's really beautiful, and this piece is gonna be in the next issue. So still buy the issue. There's going to be other stuff for you to look at and read, but this will be one thing that you'll already know about. And you can skip it. I don't care. You've already heard it. So this piece is called A History of Tote Bags. A History of Tote Bags. Since our earliest history, humans have used tote bags. Prehistoric peoples carried them on their way across the land bridge. And in fact, some of North America's earliest cave paintings depict humans looking at each other with arms full of totes as if to say, why do we have all of these? Romans thought totes to be barbarous and uncouth, referring to them as onera. Most higher class Romans would use the many folds of their togae to carry their random crap. Too proud to admit that they were wrong about tote bags, Roman elites went around with lumpy togas and chronic back pain. After the fall of the Roman Empire, there was a power vacuum, which led to bitter and violent wars between factions of early tote bag cults and proponents of backpacks and fanny packs. Like all of humanity's history, the history of tote bags is vicious and bloody, and we shouldn't gloss over it. A major rift erupted in Norse society when Viking raiders started using totes to carry loot, which offended their religious leaders, who thought that the raiders were defiling sacred vessels. Warriors started making their own totes to use for raiding, which makes Norse society one of the earliest to have tons of different, basically identical totes for all different occasions and uses. Medieval monasteries are famous for illuminating manuscripts, but at the time, the monks were more popular for their illuminated totes, with phrases like, in hoc signis vinces, where are thee going, pray a while, and I, picture of a monk, NYC. Here, NYC stood for Never Yielding Chastity. Military archaeologists are able to track the path and major battle sites of Alexander the Great's conquering armies by examining the stratigraphic layers of discarded totes. The massive army needed lots of totes, and looting them from villages as they moved helped them keep up the supply. Based on the number discovered, scientists estimate that each soldier used up to 7 totes a day. The University of Qarin, founded in 859 AD in Fez, Morocco, is considered to be the world's first university, in which the senior class said, free tote bags at orientation, they didn't do that for us. The terracotta army of China's first emperor featured thousands of finely crafted ceramic tote bags saying, thanks for serving in the emperor's army after death. Marie Antoinette became an object of revulsion in pre-revolutionary France due to perceived sympathies for her native Austria. People became particularly incensed when they started noticing that instead of using the many fine French-made silk bags she owned, she always appeared in public with an "Austria is for lovers" tote. Pretty fun. Abe Lincoln is famously thought to have kept his speeches tucked under his hat, though new research indicates that he kept them in his tote like a normal person. Yet another example of the bad scholarship you get when hat historians receive more attention, respect, and funding than tote historians. In this piece, I'm playing the character of a tote historian, so that's why this vitriol is coming out. The French resistance in World War II would hide secret messages, weapons, and equipment in different tote bags hidden in apartments throughout France. It made it nearly impossible for the occupiers to find their supplies, since stuff was always scattered in a million different tote bags and they were all over the place, and everything always ended up at the bottom of the tote and you could never really find it. And finally, in 1925, the New Yorker became the first magazine to be based on a popular tote bag. Amazingly, the tote and the magazine are still being made today. That's it. Thank you. And buy the Pandemic Post. Get a copy. It's very cool.
Thank you, James. I feel like that was you were doing a history of all of the tote bags that I own, that I have at my house. And I don't know what to do with them. Oh, Johnathan Appel says, "Bloody history of totes is my new favorite phrase." And all caps, "How do I buy it?" Did we miss that part?
I will put a link in the chat, but
Okay, cool.
There you have a website. Yeah, very online.
Thank you, James. And at this time, I would like to thank some of the folks who have given us some donations. Thank you so much, Torin. Thank you so much, Nicolas. I'm going to pronounce it the French way. Maybe it's Nicholas, but I'm going to say Nicolas. Thank you so much. It's thanks to viewers like you that we can keep our show going. We can get principal flute players and humor writers and comedians all in the same Zoom chat. Thank you so much. All right. So I'm going to introduce our next guest. I'm such a big fan of hers. She's written for MTV Decoded, Clickhole, College Humor, and she's also a wonderful cook, according to her Instagram photos. So yeah, please welcome Rekha Shankar.
Hello, hi, thank you so much, Gigi. Yes, my name is Rekha. I am the former head writer at College Humor, which sadly is a defunct institution, and I'm also a performer at the Upright Citizens Brigade Theater, which is in some ways a defunct institution, and also a place where I once got called a diversity hire. Nobody seemed to laugh at that, but the guy who said it to me told me it was just a joke, so I thought I would tell it at a comedy show, but I guess it wasn't funny. So anyway, we're all in quarantine. I don't have a job, and I'm just trying to like make my next moves, right? I'm trying to plan ahead. So I thought, okay, like everyone's kind of making this joke on Twitter, like there's going to be so many quarantine shows and movies after we come out, stuff, and yeah, I'd like to be one of them. So if you guys would just help me kind of getting my next gig, I would like to write a quarantine movie now. I'm nothing if not a multitasker, so I'd love to do a show and write a movie at the same time. So if you guys would be willing to help me, I think my fellow performers are also down to participate. So I'm just going to screen share here. Let's see. I've never done this over Zoom, so you have to be nice to me about it. Great. So we are going to make a quarantine movie together. Can you guys all see this? Give me a little nod if you can see it. Oh, hell yeah. Okay, we're going to make a quarantine movie together. Terrific. So every quarantine movie, every movie for Netflix, let's say this is going to Netflix, right? Starts with our main whites. Who are our main whites? Now I've come up with two options. I've kind of run an algorithm at Netflix to decide, okay, how can I distill the types of whites that are in Netflix movies? So here are the two couples I came up with. We either have couple A, Prince Derek of East Pissington, and female hetero cis Frog Dumple, a homely school teacher in Crapville with no life who wears jeans. Couple B, another option, is Luke the Shy Bagel Boy from Shitsboro. And Clatina, a known socialite magazine editor from Gold City who needs to stop spending money and get a grip. So just from like comments or like, you know, and performer feedback, which couple do we want to see? You can feel free to unmute yourselves. I'm a casual gal. I don't care if you're.
I gotta see Frog Gumple.
And I love a prince.
I agree.
Yeah, you love Prince. Okay, Prince Derek and East Kissington and Frog Dumple. I simply love it. Okay, so great. So we have our main characters. Now unfortunately, we need a plot. You can't, I found out from Save the Cat, you can't just stop at the characters. You do need a plot. So, the beginning of every one of these movies, there's some sort of improbable event to plan. Now, again, I ran the algorithm at Netflix, and usually this type of event is like something you like plus a type of party. So I've given you some examples. The dog gala, the burrito ball, the Godfather 2 festival. I'm just kind of wondering, you guys, like, I know you're the fellow performers, but you're the voice of the audience here. Like, what's something you like? What's just something you like?
Hats.
Hats? Awesome. Okay, great. And what's like a type of party?
Birthday party.
A hat birthday party. Awesome. Okay, great. That's the big event, which I do love. Okay, great. So that's the beginning. Unfortunately, in Save the Cat, they do say that you need other stuff too. So, what is like a high status item?
Louboutins.
Oh, Louis Vuittons. That's excellent, Amanda. Thank you. And what's like a high status superior name, like a boss of a high status person?
Ernest von Wellington.
Thank you so much. That's great. Ernest von Wellington. I do love that. And then like a low status item, something for our low status characters.
Maybe like a bunch of bugs.
Yeah, it's just like je ne sais, a bunch of bugs.
Just a bunch of bugs.
Okay. And then what's the low status boss's name?
Bruce.
Bob.
Ooh,
Wow.
Bruce Bob. I think Bruce Bob is a good name. Okay, great. And what's like a bad nickname for anybody?
Ugly.
Ugly. Yeah. Damn. Cuts to the core. Cuts right to the point. What's a crazy, extravagant means of transport?
Bullet train.
Ooh, not in Japan. It's not.
In America.
Yeah, it's a bullet train in America.
Oh yeah. Okay. Thank you. I am going to specify.
Not in non-failing states, you know.
And what's a less formal version of the high status person's name, which is Ernest von? Prince Derek is the high status person's name.
They call him D.
Ooh, D.
That opens up a world of puns.
That's nice. And what's a boring task?
Excel.
Ooh, yes. What in Excel?
Concatenating in Excel.
Ooh.
Whoa, what?
That is boring.
Okay,
That's
I'll
boring.
teach you all afterwards.
Concatenating?
Concatenating. So it's when you
Equally
like
silly word, Amanda.
it's when you add two things, like two columns together to make I'm sorry, it's so boring. I can't even finish it. It's a formula in Excel.
It's a good way to get an admin job. I'm just
Really incredible. Okay, and what's a number? Any number?
7.
71. Okay, now it needs an ending. The ending is always going to be a kiss. So we want open or closed mouth.
Closed, I think, is more on brand. for
Okay,
these two.
so yeah, I think the closed would be just like super tight-lipped. We like that?
Mhm.
I think that sounds good too. Okay, kiss is closed. Great. So what we're gonna do, because I found out that this is actually how every Netflix movie is written. We're gonna, like Mad Lib style make this movie. So I'm gonna assign one of these like items we've come up with to each of you guys, if that's cool. I'll take care of the character names, so no worries on that. Who wants to announce the event when it comes up as the hat birthday party?
I'll do it.
Okay, thank you so much, Johnathan. Okay, and who wants to say the high status item, which was Louis Vuitton's?
I'll say that.
Thank you, Amanda. And what about the low status item, which was, and what about the low status item, which was a bunch of bugs?
I
think
mean,
we
I feel like, may I?
James, I'll let you take that.
Thank
What
you.
about
thank
the
you,
high
yes.
status superior, which was Ernest von Wellington?
Sure.
Art, thank you so much. Okay, and what about the low status superior, which was Bruce Bob? Some people might be getting more than one. Okay, thank you so much, Johnathan. Okay, what's up? Who wants to take bad nickname?
I'll take bad nickname.
Okay, great. It's ugly.
Ugly.
Or your words. Extravagant means of transport is the bullet train in America.
I can do that as well.
Okay, thank you, James. The less formal nickname, which was D.
I'll say D.
Thank you so much, Amanda. Boring task, which was concatenating in Excel. Who wants to take that? I can also.
Yeah, you can do it. Go ahead.
You got it.
Okay, I'll take it because I can definitely pronounce it. So I'll take that. Who wants to take the number, which was 71?
Sure.
Art, thank you so much. And then I will take the kiss. We have got a freaking movie on hands, and I'm very into it. Okay, great. I just want to make sure I got all this stuff down. We chose Prince Derek of East Pissington, which is great. Frug Dumple, a homely school teacher from Craftville. Awesome. Okay, great. So let's make this movie, guys. This is our quarantine movie. We open on East Pissington. Prince Derek is partying and breaks a
Louis Vuitton.
Ernest von Wellington?
Yes, scolds them for doing this and says, "Get your head out of the clouds. You need to settle down and do your duty," which is being the Prince of East Pissington. Crapville, the clumsy and shy Frog Dumple is dropping
a bunch of bugs
when
Bruce Bob
comes in and barks at them that they have to prepare for the
hat birthday party.
Frog Dumple politely says okay and then adjusts their glasses and rubs their brow when their superior leaves. Meanwhile, at East Pissington, Prince Derek is hungover from a party and gets harshly scolded by
Ernest von Wellington
as selfish. Then a family friend who is also a security guard drops off a newspaper whose front page reads,
"Hat birthday party.
This Sunday needs volunteers." This family friend warmly encourages Prince Derek to volunteer to get back in the good graces of everyone, to prove responsibility. They agree. Meanwhile, at Prattville, Frog Dumple is dropping
a bunch of bugs
everywhere, and it's making people feel uncomfortable. An attractive coworker says, "Hey,
ugly,
listen up. You're a dedicated a homely school teacher, but you need to have fun." Frog Dumple takes this to heart. Prince Derek arrives to
Hat birthday party.
via
a bullet train, but in America.
twice about it, but everyone else thinks, wow, this person is quite rich. Prince Derek doesn't want people to know that about them, so he introduces himself as
D.
They approach Frog Dumple and give them their fancy coat, thinking that there is a coat check. There is no coat check. Ha ha! What a dick! Derek is immediately put to work doing concatenation in Excel for
Hat birthday party.
and is struggling. Frog Dumple helps them in a small way, and Prince Derek smiles. This is the first spark. This happens 71.
Oh, sorry.
This happens that many more times in various permutations throughout the week while planning
Hat birthday party.
One day, in the middle of another round of concatenating in Excel, Prince Derek gets a phone call from
Ernest von Wellington.
there's a quarantine happening. You have to travel home now. Eric says that sounds unsafe and maybe they'd be better off quarantining in Crapville.
Ernest von Wellington
says, don't be absurd. You don't belong there. Besides, you have being the Prince of East Pissington to do. We won't be affected by this quarantine. Prince Derek hangs up abruptly and returns to talking to Frog Dumple. Who is that? Frog Dumple says. No one, just an old friend, says Prince Derek. Guess I'm quarantining with you. The two smile. Prince Derek and Frog Dumple have been having fun for weeks, making decorations for
At birthday party.
which they assume will still happen, but is just postponed. They boop each other on the nose. They make homemade.
A bunch of bugs.
However, a news anchor comes on the news and says, the status is bad. We must quarantine for longer. This means, unfortunately, the
At birthday party.
is canceled and all of Crapville is depressed. Prince Derek suggests they put it on anyway. Frog Dumple says that would be extremely dangerous. What's wrong with you? There are lives at stake. Prince Derek comments that this is the first time Frog Dumple has ever stood up for herself. Frog Dumple realizes that's true. They look like they're about to kiss when all of a sudden
Ernest von Wellington
comes in via
Bullet train, but in America.
with no mask on. Prince Derek, they scream, come home at once. Time to stop playing pretend. Frog Dumple is confused. Prince Derek, I thought your name was
D.
Prince Derek confesses their identity, says they were trying to reform themselves, but got caught up in the magic of
At birthday party.
okay, great. All is forgiven. Our protagonist kiss, closed mouth style. The end. Woo. Wow, guys, we created a movie. I did have something that I think got deleted, which is that Ernest von Wellington started the virus and was arrested. So that happens in the movie in the background, and that's kind of nice. Cool. Well, guys, thank you so much for helping me write a movie. I do think I will sell it and eventually have a job. So I really appreciate that. And thank you so much.
Oh my God, thank you, Rekha. Yay! And everyone, such great contributions. I feel like, yes, Johnathan said this was like a masterclass. I feel like, I'm sorry, Robert McKee. I'm sorry, Save the Cat. Like, this is all you need, right? I can't wait to see your movie on screen soon. I hope it comes during, maybe next week, because I'm sure we could all use a movie to watch. One more time for Rekha. And now, to close out the show, she's going to play a tango etude. Did I say that correctly? I'm very classy, clearly. Number 3 by Astor Piazzolla. Please welcome back Viviana Cumplido Wilson.
Thank you.
my God, that was amazing. I'm just going to read some of the comments here. Let's see. Art says, damn, I think I like classical music. I think that's a very big compliment. Rekha says, I feel like this could be in a Miyazaki movie. That was just so beautiful. And I'm also impressed by your breath stamina. Like I'm out of breath, like just talking right now. Or like, when, yeah. But thank you so much. That was so beautiful. And thank you to everyone. Thanks so much for spending your Tuesday night with me. If I didn't have this going on, I would probably be cutting my hair or something equally bad. Let's give a shout out to our wonderful donors and to our performers. Thank you, Amanda, Art, James, Johnathan, aka Town Crier, Rekha, and Viviana. Thank you so much. Have a good evening and good night. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye, guys.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see the movie.
Hell yeah.
It only takes 10 minutes
Fun.
or something to write a movie, right?
That's what I'm learning.
10 minutes.
Yeah.
And you did this before? Oh my God.
Oh, wait, I got to end the stream.
People are seeing this behind the
Guys,
scenes.